Remember guys, Uruguay are the most successful Copa America team, more successful than both Argentina and Brazil, and they showed that yesterday when they kicked off the 2019 Copa America campaign in Group C versus one of their neighbors, Ecuador. Uruguay and Ecuador has met each other on 48 previous occasions, with Uruguay winning 31, 11 matches ending in draws, and Ecuador only winning 6 of those games. So from the get-go, Uruguay came into this match as favorites. They also came into the tournament as one of the favorites to win it because they were really impressive at the 2018 World Cup under their longtime boss Oscar Tabarez. As for Ecuador, they haven't been a great international team as of late, and it seems like their talent pool has dried up somewhat. They're currently managed by former Panamanian and Guatemalan head coach Hernan Dario Gomez, and they definitely got their work cut out for them in Group C. The other teams in Group C are Japan and Chile, and they will play their game on Monday, June the 17th. 4-0. What an emphatic way to start the tournament. Ecuador were completely blown away in this game. Like, the match was so one-sided. It must have been fun for the Uruguayan fans watching this game. And it was fun for me watching this game as well. Really enjoyed it. Uruguay are a first-class team. In this match, Oscar Tabarez went in with a 4-4-2 formation with Muslera in goal, who hardly had anything to do. Then we had a formidable center-back partnership of former teammates Godin and Jose Maria Jimenez. At left-back, we had Diego Laxalt, and at right-back, Martin Cáceres. These guys are very experienced. Hence the reason it was so hard to break down this Uruguayan defense. The midfield was also solid, with Nández, Vecino, Rodrigo Bentancur, and Nicolas Lodero, who was a live wire in this match. Let me make that clear. Up top, we had the experience and the quality of Luis Suarez of FC Barcelona and Edinson Cavani, who plays his football with PSG. Off the bench, we had Torreira, Valverde, and Pereiro. For Hernan Dario Gomez's team, he chose to go with a 4-2-3-1 formation with Dominguez in goal. At right back, we had Quinteros, who picked up a red card in this game as Ecuador went down to 10 men. Already coming in the game on the back foot, and they went further on the back foot when they got that man sent off. We had Arturo Mina and Achillier as the center backs, and they had their work cut out for them coming up versus Luis Suarez and Edinson Cavani. You could also throw Nicolas Lodero in there because he was a menace. Left back, we had Caicedo. In the defensive midfield positions, we had Orihuela and Intriago. And in more attacking positions, we had Antonio Valencia, who most of us may know. Then we had Mena, Preciado, and up top, Enner Valencia, the former Everton man. Off the bench, we had Velasco and Ibarra. And according to the records here, it seems like Ecuador did not even use a third substitution. Ecuador did not start this game well at all. Or I may say Uruguay started very well. They started in a dominant position, and they made that count when they opened the scoring in the 6th minute when Luis Suarez's ball was really well taken down by Nicolas Lodero. He took it down well, he shuffled, and he got a very powerful shot off to beat Dominguez in goal. It was 1-0 to Uruguay. The game got very physical, like most South American matches are. And Uruguay were more the victim of this because Ecuador, they were rough. They were really rough, and it got to a point where a man got sent off. Jose Quintero was found guilty of intentionally hitting Nicolas Lodero during an aerial duel. The referee referred to VAR, and he came back and reversed his yellow card to a red. Ecuador went down to 10 men. They were already on the back foot, and they slipped into further trouble. Cavani then began to sizzle. He had a chance saved by the goalkeeper, and he had another one saved as well. And the second one was a nice pass by Nández, almost converted by a flamboyant flick from Cavani. If that had went in, oh man, that would have been goal of the tournament without a doubt. It would have hard to beat that. And with those two chances going begging, oh man, Cavani came good. And he scored from a spectacular volley. It was a corner routine. It came down off the head of Diego Godin, and Cavani did the rest. He always have to do things extra. spectacular or acrobatic, whatever you want to call it, but it was a nice goal to make it 2-0 for Uruguay. At that point, it was Uruguay completely bossing the game. Most of the match were already being played in Ecuador's defensive third of the field. Uruguay had already had 8 shots off at goal comparing to Ecuador's 1. And just before the halftime break, a corner taken by Lodero came off the head of Cáceres, fall nicely to Luis Suarez at the far post, and we all know he's not gonna mess up. He put it past Dominguez to make it 3-0. Uruguay really stamped their authority on this game. They did not take their feet off the gas, and they punished Ecuador, who was playing with 10 men. At halftime, it was 3-0. Then when the players came back for the second half, the game was still physical, but it wasn't very action-packed. They were just knocking the ball around. Uruguay had a few sniffs. Ecuador, they had 1 more shot off at goal. In total, 2 shots for the entire game, only 1 on target. And then after the unrelenting pressure by Uruguay, Ecuador succumbed to another goal in the 78th minute, and it was an own goal by their big defender, Arturo Mina. It was a ball crossed into Luis Suarez. Him and the other defender went up for an aerial duel. It somewhat fell to the feet of Mina, who unintentionally put it in the back of his own net. There was a VAR review for it for offside, a possible offside on Luis Suarez, but he was deemed to be onside and the goal stood. The match ended 4-0. To be honest, the second half wasn't really that enjoyable to watch. I'm like, what is going on here? You talk about a total opposite of the first half. The first half was really good. I thought Uruguay were actually going to score 6 on Ecuador in the game, but it ended 4-0. That's a great way to start the tournament for Uruguay though. In terms of stats, for Uruguay, they had 16 shots at goal with 7 on target. They had 62% of the possession, 515 passes with an 83% pass completion, committing 12 fouls, picking up 2 yellow cards. For Ecuador, the losers, they only could get 2 shots off at goal with 1 on target. They had 38% of the possession, 341 passes with a 75% pass completion. They committed 12 fouls. So 24 fouls in total. It was a very physical affair. It got ugly as well for Ecuador. They played with 10 men. The other Group C fixture will be played between Chile and Japan on Monday, June the 17th. I am actually going for a Chile win in that game. And then after that game, we will see more Group C action on Thursday, June the 20th between Uruguay and the Asian Cup runners-up Japan. The next fixture for Ecuador will be on Friday, June the 21st versus the defending champions, Chile. Ecuador has their work cut out for them. If they are to try to make it to the next round, they need to turn their fortunes around big time. So all in all, Uruguay stamped their authority on this game, and they are showing that they are here to compete for this 2019 Copa America. I have them as one of my 4 favorites to actually win this tournament. As for Ecuador, one of the only teams to never win the Copa America alongside Venezuela, things don't look good. It does not look good at all for this Ecuadorian team. They need to turn things around now. So guys, when we go into the second fixtures, we will begin to talk about potential suitors in the quarterfinals, but now it's too early to get into that. But if you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button, smash the thumbs up button, and in the comment section down below, let me know who you think will score more goals at this event, whether it will be Edinson Cavani or Luis Suarez. Also, let me know if I missed any major talking points in the comments as well. Guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich. Thanks for watching, and until next time, peace out. Rich Squad.